Hello, it's Crypto CJ. It's a trade of the day, Thursday night slash Friday morning Zoom edition, depending on where you are in the world. I'm still here in Kuala Lumpur and continuing on my digital nomad trip and really enjoying it. But let's get to the markets. So I went through Twitter and some of my other sources, just general concern out there about indecision, uncertainty, and the markets don't like that. We've got another war popping up, Israel and Iran. Those two have been percolating for what, decades, centuries? I don't know. I don't think
Two or
that's
three
really,
thousand years.
yeah, I don't think that's really anything new, but I guess the intensity of the hostility is more than usual, so markets don't like that. Obviously, we have the things that have been going on, Ukraine, Russia, the see, Craig mentioned earlier the strikes on the
Port
eastern
strikes.
seaboard with the guys who take the stuff off the boats. So those guys are
Longshoremen.
there you go. Couldn't remember the word. And so
They're
that
they're holding off.
yeah, we got hurricanes, we've got the election coming up, we've got all kinds of things going on that aren't really specific to anything in particular, but a general uncertainty, and that's means we haven't really seen Uptober yet, despite today being October 4th, where I am, October 3rd, probably where my American friends are. And I have seen information saying that Uptober frequently doesn't start till a little deeper into the month, around the 9th or 12th, around there. So we'll see how it plays out. We had an unusually good September. Talked about that last time. But yeah, let's go to Bitcoin and take a look at the chart. So, okay, should be seeing my Bitcoin day chart.
Yes.
So we do have a green candle forming now, but a couple, three, four red ones this week. Not a good week for Bitcoin. Back down to 60K. It's been trying to hold that. I'd like to see that held as a support, but it wouldn't surprise me if we broke down into the high to mid 50s, maybe even lower. We've got this level here that I drew on my Fibonacci retracements right around 53. It has touched that three times, well, two and a half, I guess, since July. So again, wouldn't surprise me if we dip down there. On Ethereum, has not done well. Broke down below the 2,500 area again. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven red candles in a row on Ethereum. Starting to wonder if Solana is overtaking Ethereum as the number two
Number two. Yeah,
blockchain.
I agree.
And if Ethereum is going to be left behind or at least minimized to some degree. I have hodls in both, so I'd like to see them both do well. But Ethereum not getting much love, and the ETFs, people are kind of grousing about that they put their money in that and it's not doing well. So we'll see if we have more withdrawals, further pushing down the value of Ethereum. So,
What do you think about Sui? You think that's gonna overtake Solana?
well, that's I hear good things about Sui. I've got a low bid on that one as well. I've swing traded it a couple times. I like it. But as far as taking over, Solana and Ethereum, it's got to probably have some more history before we can really do that. But I'm more of a day trader and a short-term swing trader, so I'm not always the most qualified to talk about things like that. But anybody else on the panel have
But,
any opinions on that?
well, I was going to say, what's the use case of SUI? I know what Solana is. It's got a lot of functionality and a lot of different things. What is SUI?
Well, I just heard that Sui's coming out with a portable game like Solana came out with the telephones,
Mhm.
and that it's faster than Solana. So I
Yeah,
was just looking.
I'd heard about the speed, but a lot of blockchains come out and they're faster, but other than that, they don't always have anything
No,
else going for
it,
them. So,
it's all the other stuff that's built on Solana,
mhm.
and I don't know if you took any notice of the Solana conference that was in Singapore the last couple of weeks. Um, there's just some huge stuff being built on Solana. Um, new technologies and all sorts of things. Not not Solana itself, but add-ins or plug-ons to it. And I don't think Sui's anywhere near that stage yet.
Yeah. So I think the answer to your question is not yet, but could be. We'll see.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. Anything else about the markets overall before we go to Altcoin Alert and look for some day trades and swing trades? All right, let's check it out. Okay, my computer's a little slow today. Please be patient. Altcoin Alert, easy mode is off. I've got the altcoin radar setting. I want all the information, all the columns, all the
You're
sweat.
not. Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Okay, I'm sharing, right?
Yes, I was on the wrong. I'm on the phone. I was on the wrong phone screen.
Oh, all
No.
right. Well, I appreciate your diligence almost. So,
Yeah, I've done that
uh,
many a time.
let's I'm gonna reload, get the most current information, and then we'll try and Altcoin Alert AA score sort, but I haven't been using those as much lately because I'm not getting the values I want. I'm looking for 80 or better. And okay, we got a high 70, and it's been these three, give or take, in the last few weeks, months even. IQ and Moog coin. We looked at Moog on Monday, I believe. This IQ, it's been a while since I've looked at that one. Let's look at that, see if it trades anywhere that we like.
Oh,
And
there we
it's,
go.
it's on crypto.com. So most Americans and have access to that, and it's on several foreign exchanges as well. So let's look at the crypto.com chart. And this is my day trading layout on the 15-minute chart. I'm using the supply and demand visible range by Lux Algo for my support and resistance. You'll hear me talk about the red zone, which is resistance, green zone support. Just had a big spike up. I use the RTI. I put alerts on this indicator. I use it for entries, similar to the RSI, but a little different. And then cumulative delta for confirmation on trend-based trades. If you're new to my Zoom call and you want to try to duplicate this setup, email me at cryptocj13@gmail.com. And most of you guys are on my list anyway, so just respond to one of those emails and ask for this layout, and I can send you a copy of it. All right. So we just a little late on this one. You can see it dipped below the 20 on the RTI and then shot up. And at the moment, if you got in this trade, you've got about 5% to the red zone, 6% actually. You see where it's retraced to this 62 value. So this is a great day trade. On my day trades, if I'm on leverage, I'm looking for 1 to 1.5% move on a chart times 10x leverage. If I'm trading something like this on Coinbase or crypto.com, I'm probably looking for 3 to 5%, maybe a little higher, depending on what the charts show me. But again, I like that 6% back to the red zone as a possible retracement for IQ. So this might be a trade you want to consider. Again, I'd rather have been here 15, 30 minutes ago, but still a pretty good entry. And then maybe hold some funds back and do an additional purchase if it goes against you. Dollar cost averaging, or what I call ladder buying, which is something I do pretty frequently on my day trades. But let's say you don't trust this and you want to do an alert, maybe have it dip back down to 20 and come back up. Go ahead and right click on the RTI, add an alert, crossing up. on the 20. You can put any value you want there, but I usually go with the 20. Once per bar close, we'll leave it on all day until you turn it off. Alert name, I usually choose my information source. That's going to be AA score. TradingView will remember your alert names if you put them in there a few times. Notifications, notify an app on my phone, show toast notifications, a pop-up on my laptop, play a sound also on my laptop. And we talked about that last week. We've got new sounds now. We used to only have these classic sounds. These are the ones you're used to seeing, but you can go with some different ones now. We got nature, and I've liked the voices, though they're a little creepy. Where's the one I did recently? Hey, psst. It's a female voice. It's like, what? That went off. I think I had my headset on, and it's a little off-putting, but get used to it. So I'll use hey. I'll probably spend too much time on talking about the sounds, but I think it's fun. So create, and this should show up over here in my alert list. And there it is, IQ. Okay, now you can also, it broke above the 50, it even broke above the 80 on this, and we got really strong confirmation on the cumulative delta. So if you want to do a trend-based trade, I think the indicators are in alignment, not financial advice, but might be something you want to consider. Any questions on IQ as a day trade? Okay, so the next layout, maybe you don't want alerts going off all day. You want to do longer time frames. So my other layout is on the 1 hour chart. Support and resistance are the same, but these are going to take a few hours, a few days, maybe even a few weeks. If it really goes against you, a few months. But this looks pretty good. We've got a 10% move, maybe even a 15% move, potential retrace on this coin. The buy signal just printed. So that's on the SuperTrend, which is what I use for alerts because it's alert friendly. And then Trendilo LSMA, which is this moving average line that's red and green. So the ideal entry for me based on this layout is something coming out of the green zone, which we have here, a green signal printing on TradingView, which we also have, even though the candle hasn't closed yet. So this could go away. It's 8:17 a.m. my time, and the buy signal's just been shown here. But if this were to drop considerably, it might go away. But it doesn't retrace, or I mean, what's the word?
Repaint.
Repaint. That's the word.
Paint.
Getting older and forgetting my words. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't repaint. So once it prints, that's the one to rely on if you want to rely on this indicator. But we don't have the confirmation yet on the Trendilo LSMA. It's still in the red. So once that curves up and all these things come into play, you may want to consider this as a swing trade and get that 10 to 15%. Okay, any questions on IQ as a swing? Okay, let's see what else we can find. So that was an AA score sort. I've been using the social activity sort more. It's been more my go-to. So I'm going to sort by that, and I'm going to match it up with trading activity. So I want to see fire. Yes.
The longshoremen suspended their strike until January 15th.
Oh, shit.
That's short-term bullish. Yeah, let's keep the profanity to a minimum, please. So that could help the market. We'll see. All right. Thank you for that, Frank. And so we're going to match up, back to the sort, match up social activity and trading activity. And we got Blue Zell with fire on both. And I'm looking for coins I kind of know. XYO, I think that one's on Coinbase. SUI, we talked about earlier. Might look at that. SXP, Balancer. So there's lots to choose from. Mask. The ones I'm listing are ones I have some familiarity with. CFX, XRP I traded yesterday. So since we talked about SUI, let's look at that chart. Go back to the day trade. And SUI is on Coinbase, unless it went away.
Just with XRP, wasn't there someone that applied to do a what's it?
ETF, yes.
ETF on it?
Yep. And then the
So that
market
might
and then the market went down with the overall bad news. So
be.
I think it had one day of a little bit of a pump on that, but not much. Okay, SUI on the 15-minute chart in the green zone. And RTI is just kind of hovering on the 20, hasn't broken back up yet. So I like the setup. I'd be waiting just for it to break up above the 20, and you got plenty of back of retrace room. You've got this resistance here at around 10% and, around 12% up to the red zone. That's a great day trade. So I'd probably be a little more conservative and maybe get in here around and exit here around 3% where this resistance is. But I see no problem with shooting for this area or even to the red zone. Just you may be in it a little bit longer, a day or longer.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'll show you a quick alert on the RTI on this. Crossing up on the 20, once per bar close, or just do it once. And this is a social activity sort. And notifications are going to be the same. You may want to change the sound. So I've already got a buy order on this on Coinbase. So I'm not going to take this one. Okay, so let's look at the swing trade option on this. And still showing a red signal on the super trend. I thought this move would trigger that buy signal, but it hasn't. And then it dipped again. So we're hovering above the green zone, so that's good. And we just need the super trend to print buy and then have that confirmed by the Trendilo LSMA. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this alert just to show you how it's done. You can, if you want to trade both directions on leverage, you can leave the super trend direction change as is. But for our purposes, for a long trade, especially on Coinbase, choose the buy option. Probably leave it on only once. And again, this is a social activity sort. Notifications, I'll do a different sound. I usually do classic. Handbells, my swing trade alert. Click create. And that should show up over here on your alerts. Yeah, social activity sort on the 1 hour chart. And wait for this to show a better upward trend. Any questions on SUI as a swing trade on the 1 hour chart?
Nope. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, and I'll point out one more thing while I'm thinking about it. If you don't get the retrace potential you want on the 1 hour chart, usually it's better to go to a longer time frame, like the 4 hour, the 8 hour, or even the day chart. Like the 4 hour and the 8 hour in this example wasn't a real good one because it wasn't much different than the 1 hour. Even the day chart is pretty close to the same. We do have retracement potential in the day chart back to March, for over $2 on this, but that's way longer than I want to stay in a trade. So, all right. Let's look for some more. So that was SUI. We did a social activity sort. Let's take a quick look at the 1 hour projected range. I'm looking for ideally green on both the upper and lower, or at least pretty close. ENJ looks interesting. That's still only a 2% move, average. I think most of you guys are spot traders, so trying to find you the 3 to 5%, 10 to 15% on the swing, 3 to 5 on the day trading. And I'm not seeing this on the 1 hour range. So this one I usually look at briefly and do what I'm about to do, which is move on. So another one I like is the short-term sentiment. It's pretty similar to the social activity sort. I'm going to match this up with the Elder Impulse hourly. And sometimes frequently these are not in tune, so I end up going to the long-term sentiment, but let's look at the short-term sentiment, see if anything's matching. And we got Axel bullish on both. That's about it. So that one's not so good. Let's go to long-term sentiment and match that up with Elder Impulse daily. And we're getting some better candidates here. Superverse, don't know that one. Aptos, it's been a while. XYO. Bonk, just a Solana meme coin. Sui we looked at. And you'll see that there'll be overlap in these sorts. Ocean, showing 0 market cap. I think this has been incorporated into a different project. So if anyone AA is listening, you might want to update that. And that's about it on that sort. So let's look at Bonk. Where can we find Bonk? We were talking about Solana meme coins earlier, so. So let's see what comes up on the symbol search. And it is on Coinbase, so we'll look at it there. And a pretty good setup here, pretty similar to what we saw in some of the other ones on SUI. It's hovering below the 20 on the RTI on the 15-minute chart, in the green zone on support and resistance. So yeah, I think I would, if you're interested in trading this, right click on the RTI and set that alert for a break above the 20. And you'd be good to go on that one. So I'm gonna go through these a little faster. I went through some of the first couple in some detail. And this is gonna, again, looks like SUI that we just looked at in the green zone on the 1 hour chart layout, swing trade layout. Right click on your super trend. And again, never buy the super trend just because it triggers. Look at the overall picture of the market, support and resistance, a trend-based indicator, and then take a look at Bitcoin too, see what it's doing. But again, on this alert, right click on the buy. Doesn't matter which one you select, right click on. And yeah, if you want to go long, click a buy. You can go short if you want to and click a sell, or do the direction change and go both ways. And then you know the rest from here. Okay, any questions on Bonk?
Nope.
All right, we'll do another long-term sentiment sort and look for a short. So for my leverage traders out there, we'll flip the script a little bit, and instead of looking for bullish, we're gonna look for bearish. Now, even when I do this kind of sort, and focus on bearish. I'll still trade it long if I see a long setup I like. And I haven't done a both directions alert yet, so I'll do that. So there's a few contenders here. Clay, Chronos, Digibyte, HNT, Dash. Look for something I know I can short. And you usually have to do this on a foreign exchange. So if you're interested in this type of trading, if you have some experience in spot trading, some consistently good results, and you're ready to move on to leverage and trade both directions, email me and I can give you some information about how to get on foreign exchanges if you want. Bitcoin Cash, BCH, Monero. I was hoping Synthetics qualified because I like this one moves pretty well. Polygon, Arweave. Let's look at Arweave. I like trading that one. Okay, we'll go to the day trade setup first. And that one's on my list. So these are mostly Binance charts. I started trading on Binance and just never really got away from their charts. Most of these charts are very similar no matter what exchange you're on. Ideally, you would use the chart that's corresponds to the exchange, but for my purposes, I'm just going to go ahead and grab this Binance chart. Okay, we've got Arweave has broken above the 20 and above the 50. So what I want to see from this one on a short is something like this, where it breaks above the 80. Bring up my vertical line. And then dips back down. That happens here earlier in the week. It breaks above the 80, dips back down, and it makes a really nice move down. All the way down 17%. That's an amazing day trade. But again, I'm looking for 1 to 1.5% move on a chart at 10x leverage. So for me, I probably would have picked up a little scalp on that. You can stay in longer if you're manually trading, and keep riding it down that situation. So that's the 80 and the break above. But we've had mostly fake outs on the breaks above the 20. So keep that in mind. If we keep trending down and you do get in along, you may have to make some additional purchases to even out that entry price. I will show you how to do an alert to trade both directions. You right click on the RTI and entering a channel, 80 on top, 20 on the bottom, once per bar close. And this is a long-term sentiment sort. Yeah, I go with a different sound on this. 3 notes reverbs one I like. Click create. And should be good to go on that alert. Yep, there it is. So if this were to dip back down and break back above the 20, I would still, and if I like the setup, if Bitcoin was trending up as well, I would take that long position, even though I came across this using a sort that was looking for something bearish. But what's more likely to happen is it'll break above the 80 and then dip back down, then I'll take a short on it. Any questions on Arweave as a day trade?
Why do you sometimes pick only once and once per bar? What's the thought on picking one or the other?
That's a good question. Once per bar is something I anticipate is going to have multiple alerts during the day. I do my alerts between about 7 and 8 in the morning and then turn them off, before I go to bed or, early evening. So those are going to be on for 12 hours and they're probably going to go off 4 or 5 times in a day. So, and that's what I want because I want to try to, as a day trader, I want to make 2 to 5 trades a day, ideally with good setups. And then on just the once, since it's on an hour chart, I don't expect it to go off more than once in a day, but it might if I traded both directions. So actually, I was about to move over to that chart. Let's talk about this while I'm on that layout.
Okay, thank you.
So sure. So you can look at the past signals. There was a buy signal on Wednesday at 11 p.m. my time. The next buy signal wasn't again till 9 a.m. several days later. So I just assume that it's only going to go off if I choose a direction. It's only going to go off once in a day. So there's really no value in having it, once per bar close.
Gotcha.
If I'm trading both directions, I might do that. But even then, we had the sell go off at 9 p.m. my time on Friday last week, and the next was, I don't know, about 10, 12 hours later. So there might be some value in that. Alert on SuperTrend, direction change, and you can do once per bar close if you want. I just don't think it's likely to go off very often. So on this one, if we're doing a sell, I'd probably go with only once. It's just a little less clutter on your charts and alerts going off. So, but again, this was a long-term sentiment sort. I'll just go ahead and complete this alert since I have it up. And notifications, I'd probably go with handbell. I think it can be useful to choose one sound for a certain layout and another sound for another. If you're away from your computer and you hear it go off, and the swing trade alerts are less urgent than the day trading ones. So if you're 5 minutes late to a day trading alert, you might lose 0.5% or 1% or even more. And that's less likely to happen on an hour alert. Okay, any questions on Arweave as a swing trade? Okay. Well, that's about all I had. Anything you guys want to go over? Any specific coins you want to look at or concepts to discuss? Very well. Thank you for joining me live. I appreciate that. If you're watching on the recording, appreciate you too, though I'd rather see you live on Mondays and Thursdays. Check out the opportunities in the pinned comment. They help fund the channel. You guys have a good rest of your week and weekend. See you Monday. Bye.
You.